Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. And today, July 22nd of 2025, it is approximately 2:07 p.m. and we are convening a session of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. Today's category is Water Department. However, we will be hearing some cases in the Water Revenue Bureau category as well. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, we are consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted on the Tax Review Board's website. With me today is our board chair, Paula Weiss, as well as board members George Matthews, John O'Connor, and Nancy Cameradina. Oh, there she is. Paula, please take it away.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Tax Review Board hearings for July 22nd, 2025 are now in session. Before we move into the administrative hearings that are going to go forward today, we have some administrative matters to read into the record, starting with what is listed on our docket as case number 1 for 711 Vine Street, last 4 digits of the docket 9486. That matter is continued. Case number 2 for 2501, I guess it's cases number, is that 2 and 3?
2 and 3, yes.
2 and 3, yeah. Sorry, 2501 Margaret Street, last 4 digits of the docket, BX5H71M5. Those matters are continued. And then we're going to move down to the bottom of our docket, case number 8. Blythewood Associates LLC, 2991 West Schoolhouse Lane. Last 4 digits of the docket 1RXW. This matter was heard at a full hearing at a prior on a prior date. The board took it under advisement at that time, reviewed all of the material, and has come to the following decision for Blythewood for the period June 8th, 2023 to November 22nd, 2024. We are going to direct the Philadelphia Water Revenue Bureau to abate all of the estimated excess usage over and above what has already been billed and paid by the petitioner. It is our finding that that excess usage is a result of the water department's delay in installing a new water meter after the petitioner had done all of the I guess the piping and repair work that had been required of it. It was not a prompt install for the new meter. So for that period of time, we will abate all of the excess usage that was billed to the petitioner. The remainder of the bill will stay as billed. So I know we have the attorneys here for Blythewood. Just want to let you know that you'll get a letter or within 2 weeks from the Tax Review Board with that decision. An adjusted bill showing the abatement and the reduction will follow from water revenue, and you'll have 30 days from that period of time to be in contact with the Revenue Department to make arrangements. The bill does not have to be paid in full. It can be paid in installments. The city does have installment plans. In addition, either side does have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas. That information will also be in our decision letter. So for that decision, can I get concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradina, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. Any questions from the parties before we conclude this?
I do have a quick question because we're going to be talking to our clients when we're done. By any chance, do you have any financial numbers as to what will be due during that period? When you say excess?
Right,
Okay.
we cannot do the calculation. I know that our thinking was that your clients were billed during that period and paid what they were billed. And then when the new meter was put in, suddenly that bill jumped significantly based on the new meter. And so our decision is that anything over and above what your client had already paid for that period of time will be abated. And there are no penalties that have been assessed.
And similarly, late fees as well, I would assume, or no?
Yes.
There were no penalties.
There were no fees or penalties attached.
Okay.
We did look.
Just making sure all the questions I'm going to get asked.
No, that's
Thank
fine.
you so much.
There were no fees or penalty, and all of that will be in the letter that you'll receive from the Tax Review Board.
Excellent. Thank you for your time, everybody. Appreciate your attention.
Have a good afternoon.
Take care.
You too. We're going to step out. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
We're going to move on to what is listed on our docket as case number 9. Melissa, is there anyone here for the petitioner?
Oh, let me go check.
All right, Brian Phillips, 2422 North Clarion Street, last four digits of the docket 9758.
No, Mr. Phillips is not here, but he is not required to be here.
Yes, so this matter again was already did have a full hearing before the board, was taken under advisement for the board to review information provided by both parties, testimony and documents. And it is the decision of the Tax Review Board in this matter that for the period July 1st, 2015 to June 1st, 2022, the Water Revenue Bureau is directed to adjust the billing to 300 CCFs per month. Can I get concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameron, I concur.
George Matthews, second call.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So the petitioner is not here. However, they will get a letter. Mr. Phillips will get a letter from the Tax Review Board with the decision that the bill has been adjusted for that period of time. And he, as well as the city, will have their appeal rights, should they so choose.
Ms. Arnold, come on in.
And we are going to move on to case number 4, 4148 North Marshall Street. Last four digits of the docket 9502. I believe the petitioner is in our offices. So we're going to wait a minute.
Yep, she's here.
All right.
Have a seat in this chair for me.
Okay, thank you.
That's the one that you see.
Okay,
Good?
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ms. Arnold,
Yes,
Can you
hear
hear?
me? Okay.
yes.
Welcome. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. We're going to be hearing your case today. Could you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, Rosa Arnold.
Ms. Arnold, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes,
Thank you. All right, so we are going to turn to the city representatives first so that we can get the dates and dollar amounts that you're questioning. And then we will come back to you and you'll have the opportunity to explain to us why you're here today and what you're looking for from the board.
okay.
Okay?
Oh,
So who has
can
the
I-
question?
I don't have none of the bills. You asking me?
No.
No. The city
Letter.
representative, the city is going to read and is going to give us the
Oh,
information as to what's
okay.
due and outstanding.
Okay. all
Okay?
right, Okay,
All right. Who has this matter for the city?
That would be me, Rosa Slocklin, for the city of Philadelphia.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
thanks.
So currently, Miss Arnold does not have any outstanding balance with the city related to stormwater, and her stormwater appeal has been granted, so she will not be billed for stormwater for this address at 4148 North Marshall Street going forward. Therefore, it's the city's position that this case should be marked as no action needed.
Thank you. So Ms. Arnold, what the city's attorney is saying is that they have removed this bill and any future billing has also been stopped.
Okay,
Does that meet your concerns?
yes.
Does that take care of it is really what I'm asking.
Thanks.
Okay, so you will get a letter from the Tax Review Board
Okay,
that there was no action needed. We're going to vote on that in a minute. No action needed by this board. Mrs. Loughlin, will she get a bill of any kind? What will she get to confirm that there's a zero balance?
She should have received a notice from the stormwater unit that her stormwater appeal was granted.
yeah, excuse me, yes, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I left it home. And
But
it's,
you got it. That's we don't need it, but we want you to have it.
yeah, it's a picture of the lot with the grass and everything, yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
can I get concurrence from board members that no action is needed in this case?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameron, I concur.
George Matthews, second call.
All Weiss, I concur. All right, so Ms. Arnold, thank you for coming in and hopefully this resolves your issue. The billing has been abated.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, have a good afternoon.
You too, thanks.
All right, we're going to move on. Thank you, Ms. Loughlin. That was very helpful. Case number 7 for 1623 South 5th Street. Last four digits of the docket are PPT4. And I believe Wilson is in our offices as well.
Okay, I'll try to, that's what I said, I'll try to sit somewhere I can get up and down from. Oh, that's okay, I'll manage. Thank you.
No, this
Is
one.
this one?
Yes,
Okay.
Would you repeat the case number, please?
Case number 7.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to be sure. Thank you.
1623 South Fifth.
Yes, Minnie Wilson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Wilson. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. We're going to be hearing your case today.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to turn to the city representatives first, and they are going to give us the dollars the dollar amounts and the dates that you're questioning. And then we'll come back to you and you'll have an opportunity to explain to us why you're here today and what you're looking for from the board members. Okay?
Right, okay.
Okay. Who has this matter for the city?
That would be me again.
Okay, Ms. Lachlan. Okay, do you have a witness who's going to testify to the numbers?
I do not. This matter is also, Ms. Wilson also has a $0 outstanding balance with the water department. And she no longer owns the property at 1623 South 5th Street. So the city's position for this matter is also that it be noted as no action needed.
All right, so Ms. Wilson, the city is, did you sell this property?
Yes, but reason why I'm here is because I was trying to figure out when I was working on the property in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I put all the pipes were stolen out of the property. So I had my brother-in-law came in and we stored some of the water pipes and I had a water meter, turn the water back on. Then after I did that, I got hit with a bill of over $18,000. And the property had been vacant since all of 2004. 2013, I filed bankruptcy. So all we ordered water department back that year was like $300 and something. And that was taken care of through the bankruptcy court. And the house has been vacant. So I was trying to find out how did I accumulate so much money on a property that was vacant. I was paying runoff water. I was paying that. I don't know what year that started, but I was paying that off. And although I sold the property, I'm trying to recoup money back because I'm trying to see how did you bill me for something that wasn't no water was shut off. I don't know.
So was the balance paid when you sold the property?
I had to do that in order to get the loan that I needed I was going to do something with the property. So I had to pay everything that I owed the city off.
All right, because the city's records now show that nothing is due and owing.
No,
And also because you no longer own the property, you don't have the legal standing or authority to come and represent the property or the billing. When did you pay the balance?
everything was done in I think I told it off in 2024, last year.
Okay.
What I did is now I still own the properties and I have it in an LLC. Because I totally took a loan to rehab the property.
Oh, wait, you own it. I'm sorry.
I sold it to myself because I rehabbed the property. But this is what I'm saying. I had to pay off, I had to get a loan. In order for me to get a loan, I had to pay off the city of Philadelphia. Anything that owed taxes, water, whatever I owed the city, I had to pay it off.
All right. Then it's possible, Ms. Lachlan, that she does have standing as the owner of the LLC that owns the property. However, we're in the wrong posture here you're looking for a refund.
I'm looking for a refund for what I put out, Minnie Wilson, when I had the property in trust to my son. And that's why I had to pay all this money off, but I'm starting to.
We understand.
How did I get to this type of money? And I had a printout, but it's not really explaining to me how do you guys come up with the
Okay.
money that you charging me?
All right. So because the money is paid, the city does not have those records with them because of the change of ownership, as well as the fact that there is nothing now due. And so the requirement, and I really don't want to, I don't want to give you a runaround, I just need to tell you how this works, is that there is a separate form to request a refund from the Revenue Department that I believe Ms. Andre may be able to provide.
This is my fourth time coming here for this issue. I started this like,
I am sorry
you
about that.
know, and what is frustrating is, like, before we used to come here, we could go in front of the judge, whoever was there, showing the paper, they can look at something and try to help you. You know, it's like I'm getting older now.
No, I understand how difficult these things are to navigate. Ms. Andre, was there a hearing officer decision in this matter?
No, what happened is, Ms. Wilson was scheduled, but her original petition was processed as a water revenue petition. So she came in for her hearing and we noted this should have been a water department hearing because the only charges on the account were in fact stormwater charges. So we rescheduled Ms. Wilson, yeah, as a
Stormwater.
water case. But this is this listing here, it was continued, but Miss Wilson requested a continuance back in September of 2024. And then it was scheduled in May, but it needed to go before the full board. I'm not really sure why, but it needed to go before the full board from the department level, maybe because of these issues, regarding whether or not she had standing and all of that stuff. But more importantly, I think what Ms. Wilson is asking for is whether or not the charges, an understanding of stormwater in general, because I think that that's the crux of her question is why was she charged if there was no water? But I don't know if Ms. Wilson understands that stormwater is charged even though there is no actual water usage. And maybe someone can explain that to her.
But
Let's go through that. Let's start with Ms. Wilson. What kind of property is this?
it was a private home.
Okay, a private home.
Private home.
Okay.
Mm.
So, and the only thing being billed was stormwater? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's all. Because
Okay.
because the vacant was no water on. But I
Okay.
paid monthly, well, quarterly, I would pay a certain amount of money. I could put 200 down, only like $15 a month. I think it was for
Did
this.
you pay it every month?
I paid it every month. I paid it like, I would put $200 ahead of time. And then after that run out, I'll go back and write another check for $200 to pay the stormwater fee, because it was like $15 a month. I didn't want to be writing a check every month for $15, $16.
And then at some point you got a large bill, is that correct?
And when I went to try to work in the property, try to put the plumbing, water and stuff back on, that's when they came in, I guess, to turn the water on, to read the meter. And then all of a sudden I got over $18,000 water bill.
Okay. Ms. Laughlin, is anyone here? Well, first of all, somebody is here from Stormwater who could
PWD, yes.
yes. But I don't know that anyone has in front of them the actual bill. Is there someone who can look at the actual bill that was paid to say whether or not it was entirely stormwater or there were other things?
So the $18,000 balance is on a 001 account, which I believe is water usage. That amount is too high to be only stormwater for the size of the lot that Miss Wilson owns. And so my understanding was that it was both. The bill that Miss Wilson submitted for this appeal is from an outside agency, so it doesn't actually show what the charges are. It just shows the total balance.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like, Ms. Wilson, that really the bill that you're questioning was more than stormwater. That it had to be service charge, usage, or some other categories. And I don't know what they are because we don't have the bill.
Right.
But it sounds like especially if you were making payments, I don't, and I agree with Ms. Laughlin that I don't know how a stormwater bill would have reached $18,000 in excess. amount due. So it
can I
does
ask a question?
sound like, I don't know. I mean, you could, I mean, obviously a refund has to be requested,
Yeah.
but for what period of time and for what? And I'm
I'm
not sure how to
2013,
navigate.
that it was no water on completely in that property. It was totally nobody living there. When I
Right.
found bankruptcy, only thing.
But we don't know when the last time the meter was actually read and what that
Yeah.
$18,000 represents. And
water-
if in fact, even had there been no usage, if there was a meter and if there was service charges may have accrued as well. The city does not discontinue service charge simply because there's no usage in a property. So Ms. Lucken, what is the best way for her to get an actual breakdown of what that $18,000 represented?
Well, I have just now been able to find the bill with, there's a one-time usage charge of $15,909 it's from October 2023, but it notes that the bill period is December 1, 2007 through October 10, 2023. Since I am not with water revenue, I don't know the
No, that's very
specifics of
helpful,
how
though.
that works,
No,
but
that's very, can you send that to me so I could give that to Ms. Wilson and she can
yes.
attempt to put this in the proper posture, which is refund?
Refund.
And then from that, unfortunately, she has to request a refund from the Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
All right. So, but this is, I hope this is information you can use, however. So
Yes,
Ms.
it
Wilson,
is sort of helpful,
it's
but
not stormwater. It is actually a regular water bill with usage, and I'm going to assume service charge as well,
mm,
possibly penalties, going all the way back to 2007 through
okay.
2023, and that's how we got to $18,000.
Okay.
Even subtracting the stormwater charges that you were paying regularly. So Ms. Andre is going to be able to give you a copy of that bill information and a separate form so you can actually request a refund of that amount of money,
Okay,
but actually tell them exactly what it is because it's not stormwater. It's
right,
an actual water revenue bill for usage and service charge, and I'm not even sure, I don't have it in front of me, I can't speak
okay.
entirely.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
If it was no, do you have a thing when the water is actually shut off? What date was shut off and there's no water coming into the property?
I don't know that it was shut off by the water department, so if it was not, then they would not have any information. They would only know if the water department actually did the shut off.
Okay, so the nugget says no pipes, no water coming into the property. How can I get charged for uses? This is another question I want to find out and running around trying to get this, you don't know who.
But was there a meter in the property?
It was meters that's what got they wrote, took the, it was the old meter, so I guess they got the reading from the old meter, but I'm saying, how could it generate it reading anything?
Well, we don't know that. I mean, that would be part of a hearing where we actually had water revenue and water department people here who were familiar with the bill. But because you had asked for stormwater only, there isn't anyone here today
Okay,
who can speak to what they found when they read the meter and what, you know, whether or not there were pipes attached, whether or not they could see that water was leaking. When was the last time, when was the meter actually, I guess we do know the meter wasn't read from 2007 to 2023. But you know, what did they find when they were in the property to read the meter? And we don't have anyone here who can do that today.
because the only thing I could say that when I did the bankruptcy in 2013, that my lawyer, all he got from the water department was a bill of 300. I guess that was for way before the stormwater runoff. I don't know what year they started the storm or water runoff. I don't know what year was that. But prior to that, it should not have been anything but city tax, I mean, real estate tax.
Well, as I said, you know, we don't know because we don't have that bill, that full bill in front of us to look at. But Ms. Andre is gonna, you can step out of the room in a minute, and Ms. Andre is gonna give you all the information and the billing information so that you can actually start to deal with the actual bill that you paid.
Okay,
And we can, and if we need to have you back here, we will definitely provide you with the opportunity to return once once the refund has been requested. And,
Okay.
and if it's denied, okay? So this is
Okay.
going to be a no action needed for today as well. Can I get concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
George Matthews second cut.
Always, I concur. So you can step out. You'll get a letter from the tax review board and it says we did not act on this today pending your taking other steps.
If I can get up, okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you for your help.
Thank you. I appreciate her frustration.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So the remaining case is number 5, and I need to wait for Miss Andre to see if we actually have anyone here for 2119 Hope Street.
I,
Hmm?
sorry.
Do you have
Did we
a,
handle case number 6?
oh, I don't, wasn't that, oh, wait, no, we didn't, I guess. No,
5 and 6.
5 and 6, thank you. Thank you, John.
For case number 5, we were able to work out a settlement with the petitioner in this case only yesterday. But it's been sent to the billing department and the adjustments already on the account. So we can provide that settlement letter to the board.
Oh, all right, so then we can mark this no action needed as well.
Which case is this?
5. It's the estate of Bonnie Iris Knox.
Oh, okay. Can we just, 1 second, I just need to go back and write it down.
Yes.
Where I have it for the decision. And this is, I believe, Wilson?
Walker.
Walker?
Walker, case number 6.
All right, cool.
Okay, Ms. Walker, just bear with us a moment. I think we lost Melissa. All right,
Sorry.
you're back. So case number 5, based on Ms. Laughlin's information, has been settled. And she had conversations yesterday with the petitioner, and therefore we will mark this case no action needed as well. Can I get concurrence?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
George Matthews second cut.
Always, I concur. So we will send that notification to the petitioner, and we're going to move on to case number 6, which is 3018 West Style Street, last 4 digits of the docket, WTOS. And Ms. Walker? I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, my name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Board. Could each of you identify yourselves for me, please?
Ronna Walker.
Okay.
Jerry Walker.
And are each of you going to provide testimony today?
Yes.
Okay. Then I need to swear you both in. And do each of you swear and affirm swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to turn to the city representatives first in order for them to provide us with the dates and dollar amounts and controversy that you're challenging. And then we will come back to you and you can explain to us why you're here and what you're looking for from the board. Okay, Ms. Laughlin, is this you?
Yes, this is me.
Okay. We have someone to provide numbers for the record?
Yes, so the current outstanding balance for this account is $7,398.50. That is all principal with no penalty, lien, or interest. This is all related to a help loan that was entered on June 5, 2024.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Walker, what would you like to tell us about this matter?
I can begin. So essentially, there was an indentation in the street in front of 3018. I called 311, they came out, and then the water department issued a citation saying that there was a defective lateral and that it had to be repaired within 10 days or the water would be shut off. That's how it all began.
And this notice was for your property at 3018 specifically?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. And then?
And then they came out, they looked at it, I signed, saying that they could repair the lateral because I don't work for the water department, I'm not a plumber. They said it was defective, so I said, okay, it must be defective. I do want to add that the house was built in 2019. It was a brand new lateral. The indentation was there before we purchased the property. And so we ended up agreeing to it. They were supposed to come out on the 19th of June. They did not come out. I had to call them, and then they came out a week later. They didn't even call to say they weren't coming. And this is Flash Plumbing. And so they came out. And when they came out, I had a full day because they didn't come out on the original day. So my schedule didn't allow for me to be home. So I was at a board meeting, WHYY board meeting. I get a call from, I think her name is Robin from Flash Plumbing, yelling and screaming, very unprofessional, very hysterical. You have 15 minutes. I need you to do what you're doing. You need to tell me if you're going to move forward with this pipe or not. It's my day off and you need to tell me right now. I said, I'm sorry. I said, first of all, I'm in a board meeting. I just stepped out. I said, I don't understand why I wouldn't have them move forward. Well, they're saying it's something about the pipe is okay. And I don't know what's going on. She's like, you need to decide. And if you don't decide, if we have to come back out, it's going to cost you more money. Once again, not my area of expertise. So I'm flustered. I leave my board meeting in the middle of the board meeting, go back home. When I get there, the plumbers say to me, this lateral is fine. They said, in fact, whoever did it did a pristine job. They said they did a really good job. We don't know why your lateral is being replaced. So while they had the hole open, we see that there's a terracotta pipe adjacent to the lateral, which is cracked and water is flowing out. So we're looking, the lateral is fine. There is no defect. So then I call the water department. I end up talking to Derek Seegers, who is here, and my mom, Jerry Walker. We get on the three-way. We're talking, and we're asking him, what should we do? We don't understand. If there's nothing wrong with the lateral, why are we fixing it? We don't know for sure if there's something wrong. Meanwhile, the plumbers, this is what they do every day. They're saying there's nothing wrong with the lateral. The lateral is what, 5 years old? 24/19, 5 years old. So there's nothing wrong with the lateral. And then Robin calls back yelling and screaming again. I don't understand why she's still a vendor. That's neither here nor there, but totally unprofessional. She is coercing, bullying, making me feel very rattled, like I have to make a decision in a very short period of time, which I did not appreciate. And so talking to Derek Seegers, he's telling my mother and myself, okay, well, I say you just go ahead and get it done. And then if you need to, then you can go to court. I said, why would I get it done if I don't need to get it done? And I said, what I understand is that when people go to court, that with the water department or the city, it's hard to win. So I didn't really understand. And at that point, she said, Robin says on the phone, we're going to go ahead. I was flustered, didn't know what to do. They went ahead and they actually did the work.
Meaning they actually replaced your lateral?
They replaced the lateral.
And what did they do with the terracotta pipe that was leaking?
Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that because that was my main issue.
Yes.
My main issue was, first of all, don't charge us as homeowners of a new property for a lateral that is not defective. Number two, I said repeatedly, please refix this terracotta pipe. It's leaking, it's causing damage, it's compromising the integrity of the lateral or whatever, because they shook up some stuff and caused some damage somewhere else on the street. And it could be compromising the structural integrity of the foundation of 3018. So when I say I work for the water department at this point, I've been out there with them. I have called them countless times. They have had to drag or dredge the main drain at least 4 times on my block because they said it was so backed up. So that was part of it. That didn't start happening until I started going through this process and reaching out repeatedly. So those things are happening. Then 3018 and 3020, my neighbor, we get more violations citing we need to have our main drains unclogged. So we hire different plumbers this time and we get that done. So that's another out of cost expense, $200 something, $200 to $300. And when I tell you, I've spoken to all the water department workers, I've even seen blueprints of what's happening and showing me all of they have said historically 3018 West Stiles is a nightmare. When I say they're constantly digging up that street, there are things going on. Every time you dig up, it's going to impact something else. So the terracotta pipe, I said, please fix it. I was told that it was a private sewer line linked to 3010 and 3012 West Stiles, so that they were going to have to be responsible for repairing that. Later on, I received a call from the water department saying, oh no, that's not true. I said, that's what you told me. That's why I put it in my 20,000 emails and videos and pictures. And she said, oh, that was a mistake. We don't know who it belongs to. So what we are requesting at this point in time, that the water department do the right thing and rescind the cost of this lateral. We should have never been charged for a lateral. It should have never been replaced. We should have not been coerced or bullied. And for that terracotta pipe to be fixed, because it's going to be an ongoing problem. And I will say, after that, there was another hole. After they so-called fixed the lateral, another hole formed. The only thing where water was flowing through is that broken terracotta pipe. So here we are.
In 2020. The water.
Oh yeah, and then after they did whatever they did, it started leaking into 3020, our neighbor's house. It's been a nightmare, a straight nightmare.
It sounds like it. All right, so we're gonna turn to the city and see what they wanna offer from their side, okay?
All right.
Before I give the city's opening statement, I would just like to note that we have not received any proof or evidence of this terracotta pipe. It's not included in the materials that we received related to this docket. And also, we object to testimony about what the plumber said, the plumber Robin, when Robin is not available for cross-examination.
Okay,
Thank you.
so noted.
Thank you. So for the city's opening statement, on May 16, 2024, a cave-in in front of the property at 3018 West Stile Street was reported via 311. On May 22, 2024, PWD conducted a sewer and lateral exam to determine the cause of this cave-in. An inspector from PWD performed a dye test, which is the department's standard for reliably and accurately detecting the source of leaks.
Is this your opening, Ms. Laughlin, or are you testifying?
This is my opening as to the timeline, since all of this this is background for the help loan, since the notice of defect can't be at issue before this board. That's a determination that Blur would have to make. So I'm just establishing the background that led to the issuing of this help loan.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Could she just repeat what she just said?
She's just giving us a background timeline as to how we got to the bill. We got to the loan.
Okay. So this dye test indicated a defect in the lateral at 3018 West Stile Street. That same day, May 22, 2024, a notice of defect with this information and information about avenues for repairing the defect was sent to the property owners, Geraldine and Ronna Walker. An NOD includes information on accessing the city's help loan program, which is a program that offers zero interest loans to property owners to be used to correct plumbing defects. At some point after May 22, but before June 5, 2024, the property owners contacted PWD's help loan program to apply for that loan. On June 5, 2024, the help inspector, who is also an employee of PWD, surveyed the defect to prepare a scope of work and a cost estimate. That same day, the property owner, Ms. Ronna Walker, signed the help loan paperwork, including the scope of work, the payment plan, and authorization of work, a notice that participation in the help loan program is not required. On June 6, before the work was done, PWD re-inspected the defect as is standard for 2 weeks after an NOD, and finding no repairs left an intent to shut off if repairs were not made by June 24, 2024. PWD's primary mission is to supply safe water service and sewer lines to residents of Philadelphia. Part of upholding this mission, PWD returns the right to shut off water in instances of health and safety concerns. In the case of a defective lateral, sewage is seeping into the ground instead of making its way into the city sewer system. It also may cause cave-ins on the right-of-way, as it did in this case. Therefore, the city's actions and notices of shutoff are not intended to coerce, but are rather an enforcement of their obligation to uphold health and safety codes in the city of Philadelphia. Between June 17 and June 28, Flash Plumbing reported to 3018 West Style Street with the proper permits, surveyed the work and estimated that work would be ready for city inspection by July 1. On July 10, PWD inspected the repairs and found them sufficient to satisfy the original NOD. On June 28, 2024, Flash Plumbing sent an itemized invoice to the city of Philadelphia that reflected the $7,398.50 amount that was agreed to in the original help loan. And on August 29, 2024, the city of Philadelphia paid Flash Plumbing $7,398.50 for work done at 3018 West Stiles Street. This timeline reflects a normal timeline and progression of a help loan application. And the loan issued to Geraldine and Ronna Walker is for the correct amount as agreed to before the work started and itemized on the invoice.
Okay. And what evidence are you going to put on?
I have Paul Walker here to testify to the help loan itself. Mr. Parker.
You're on mute, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Parker. Could you state your full name and position, please?
My name is Paul Parker. I'm Assistant Manager for the Plumbing Repair Unit, aka the Help Loan Program.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Parker.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your position and how long you've worked for PWD?
I'm Assistant Manager of the Help Program. I worked for the Philadelphia Water Department for 12 years now.
And are you familiar then with help loan applications and the normal procedure?
Yes.
And have you had a chance to review the help loan paperwork for this address at 3018 West Style Street?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that paperwork appear to be a standard help loan record for the city of Philadelphia?
Yes, it does. So, 1 second. Is it
Helpful for me to share my screen for the board,
For what purpose?
to show the help loan paperwork.
I don't know that, I guess, if you're gonna be happy, can testify.
Well then. I don't know that the city has any other affirmative case to put on other than that our help
Okay.
loan is normal.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Seegers is here, correct? I see you, Mr. Seegers. And I believe Ms. Walker, as part of her testimony, stated she did have conversations with him. Is that correct, Ms. Walker?
Yes, both my mother and myself were on.
All right, so it might be helpful then to hear from Mr. Seegers as to his recollection or his records as to what occurred at this property.
Mr. Seegers.
You need to unmute yourself. Good afternoon, Mr. Seegers. Could you state your full name and position with the city, please?
Yes, good afternoon. Derek Seegers, Philadelphia Water Department.
Do you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I affirm.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Seegers, Ms. Walker has testified that there were conversations between the two of you during some of this time period. Do you recall them?
Yes.
Can you speak to them and what you recall or what your records indicate was going on at the property and with the plumber, if you're familiar, or with Ms. Walker at the time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Pretty much what Ms. Walker stated is somewhat true. For some reason, I believe Ms. Flash Plumbing was assigned the work order. The day of the repairs, I received a call from Robin Nocella, who is the part owner of Flash, indicating that her plumber on site thought there was nothing wrong with the pipes. And so my question to her was, what did your plumber do to come to that conclusion? His reply, or her reply, that he was stating was that the pipes look new. So based on the property being new, based on the pipes being new, that's how he assessed or thought that there was no defect with the piping. And I explained to her that a dye test has to be done. And that's how sewer maintenance, who wrote the notice of defect, needed to, that's the only way you could verify that there was no defect. Unfortunately, the excavation area that they had exposed encompassed where the cave-in was. Therefore, there was no cave-in available at that point to re-perform the test. So he never performed any type of eye test. He's performing what I call an eye test. He's looking at pipes installed and saying that the pipes are new without performing a dye test. And the pipe very well could have been new because I was not at the site.
Okay, so he couldn't perform a dye test with those pipes once through those pipes or in her house?
No,
to determine whether there was a leak somewhere on her service?
I'm sorry, the leak, the lateral is a section of pipe that goes from the curb out to the city sewer. That's the section of pipe that was defective. If you notice the defect, according to the documents, indicates that there was a dye test performed. Give me 1 second, going back to the documents that were submitted. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so there was a dye test performed on May 22nd of 2024. And therefore, as a result of the dye test, the property received a notice of plumbing defect.
So can you explain the process of a dye test for a lateral?
So a cave-in had developed on site.
Right. Before Mr. Seegers answers, I just want to note that Mr. Seegers is not an inspector who actually performs dye tests. So this is outside of the scope of his expertise.
Are you unfamiliar with the dye test process, Mr. Seegers?
I'm not unfamiliar with it. I don't perform them.
Okay, so you can explain to the best of your ability for the rest of us, please.
Okay. So there more than likely was a call into the call center indicating there was a cave-in near or in front of the property. As a result of that, an inspector comes out verifies that there was a cave-in in that close proximity. They inform, since they can't do anything, they would refer the case to sewer maintenance. Sewer maintenance, and it looks like it was unit 629 or radio 629, that's a crew. They come out and they actually perform the dye test, which entails placing dye into the cave-in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you flood the dye, that cave-in, you flood the cave-in with water. So they come with a large truck referred to as a Bacter, which has the ability to have its own water source. It takes water from the hydrant, stores it on the truck, and then they have a hose, and then they can basically use that hose to provide water to the cave-in. So the dye is in place, water is inserted, then they have either a person, a man, have a person enter the sewer. If the sewer is too small to crawl, then they will use a camera, CCTV, closed circuit television. And then they basically, the sewer crawler or the camera will basically go up that line in the sewer and see if the dye is penetrating the sewer and or someone's lateral. If it's coming in through someone's lateral, that would mean coming in someone's lateral and then it would pipe down into the sewer. That would mean that that piping would be defective because it should not enter your lateral. It's the same way the analysis I always use is a soda can. You pour dye on top of a soda can, the dye should not penetrate the can. If the dye penetrates the can, you know that the can is defective. The lateral works the same. The dye penetrates your lateral into the sewer, your lateral is defective. And that's how, the best of my recollection, how sewer maintenance performs the test. Well, I've seen the test, I just never done it myself.
No, that's been very helpful. Thank you. Is there anything else that you recollect as to the occurrences for the specific property?
So, going back to Robin, she was very hysterical for whatever reason. I'm not sure if she had her meds or whatever the case may be. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but she was very hysterical. And her biggest concern was that the pipes look new. The pipes look new. And I said, they probably are new, but that doesn't indicate that they're not defective. They can be brand new and defective. And to give you an example of that, we perform thousands of repairs, and there's occasions when our contractor has to go back because something is not proper.
Do you recall if Robin talked to you about another pipe, a terracotta pipe, or some other area where they could see that there was water leaking?
Yep. The discussion was that she believed that there was a private sewer somewhere in that close proximity. I don't know what type of material that private sewer was. And so you're saying it was terracotta or
well, I'm just repeating what Ms. Walker was told.
So therefore, I don't know if that is one and the same. That I don't know, but there was discussion to the fact that there was a private sewer in close proximity from Ms. Nocella's plumber.
And did she say that there was water leaking from that?
I'm sorry?
Did she say that there was water that they could determine was leaking there as well?
She said that was the problem. She didn't say what the problem was.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Segers, did Robin, or the plumber, provide you with any records or evidence of this to support their belief of a private sewer system in the area?
No. They didn't. My question to them, and I think I spoke to our plumber on site. I'm not sure if he was a journeyman or a master. I can't even think of his name, but I asked him very clearly, did you do a dye test? He said no.
Thank you.
So therefore, I told him to notice a defect because you did not do a dye test. Still would stand. You can't go off the eye test.
All right. So Ms. Walker, did you want to ask Mr. Segers any questions, or is there something else you'd like to provide us at this time?
Yes, and then I'm gonna let my mom speak. I did send them pictures, video, and at least 10 emails. I sent them to Randy Heyman, Chris Eisenhower, and who's the man at the top? Steven somebody, whatever his name is.
My manager is Stephen Janot.
What's his name?
Janot, Junot.
Yeah, Stephen Janai, yes. So I've sent these emails to them, CC'd a whole bunch of people.
And all the pictures.
Pictures, videos, and emails. The first time I sent them, when we went the first time, we came here the first time, they said, we don't have any documentation, which I didn't understand because I submitted them. So we said we wanted an appeal, and then they sent another letter saying, please submit more documentation. I sent more documentation. I don't know where the documentation went, but I spent hours and hours and hours of my time talking to the water department, going to look down manholes. And when I say I worked for the water department and submitting all this documentation, I missed out on work because of this. So I'm really not happy that no one has any additional documentation that I submitted.
Ms. Walker,
Good.
did you submit that to the board or?
It was the email that I got. I don't know. Whoever it was, I sent it to them. They said, please submit it here. They sent a letter, submit it to this email, additional documentation, and that's what I did.
Ms. Andre, did we receive any documentation or email copies of emails or anything from Ms. Walker?
I mean, what was submitted with her petition, but no.
Nothing additional. Okay,
Yeah,
so it went somewhere else. Okay, I was
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that we, don't have it to look at today. Okay, Ms. Laughlin.
I know it was stated that, that Mr. Seeger said that he asked Robin if they did a dye test. And the plumber said he didn't know how to do a dye test. At some point in the conversation with us, he told us that we should have asked for a second dye test, something that we had no knowledge of, or that we should have gotten that done. The other thing is, I know how things happen, but it seems strange to me that there were 3 houses that were built pretty much at the same time. And we're the only one that supposedly has a defective lateral. And we're the only one next to this leaking terracotta sewer pipe.
Absolutely.
So I don't understand. I heard what he said about how the test was done. So then I begin to think, if our lateral was defective, how did it get defective?
Well, we wouldn't have any information about any of that.
No, I understand that.
Something that
But-
the city would not be able to answer.
Well, I understand that, and I know that's off the point, but my point is that something, if it was defective, and we don't believe it was, something caused that defect, because no other of the 3 houses there have that defect.
And after it was fixed, replaced, whatever you want to say, another cave-in started after, and a flash plumbing came and refitted a lateral that was not needed to be refitted. So the problem still exists, and what still exists allegedly as the problem is still there, the terracotta pipe that is leaking.
So I guess our final statement, or next to final, I guess, is we feel that we were coerced into doing something that did not need to be done. Because if it was to fix the cave-in and it was a defective lateral, then the cave-ins would not continue. The problem would have been fixed. And the fact that the water department had been back at least 5 times after this occurred and found all of this debris and construction, rocks, bricks, and whatever that had to be vacuumed out, also says that what they said was a defective lateral was not the problem, and it was not defective. So our goal is not to have to pay for that help loan. And I appreciate it. Having been a city official, I appreciate the fact that that loan was available to my daughter, available to me. And so when they said we had to do it, we said, oh, okay, well, we'll get this loan. And then when all this came up, it was like, wait a minute. We did not need to do this. We should not be responsible for this loan. And the second part of the goal is that pipe that's next to our lateral be fixed, because it can be compromising not only the structure of the house, but the value of the house.
Thank you. And Mr. Seegers, I don't know what you have access to, what you're looking at, but is any of the information that's available to you, is there anything that does indicate that the water department continues to go out there for an ongoing problem?
No, I have nothing to, City Works uses a database referred to, the city uses a database referred to as City Works.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that I see indicating that there is an issue or ongoing issue in the 3000 block of West South Street.
Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, that there isn't, but there's nothing that I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ms. Laughlin, do you have any closing remark?
I do. So the city did not err or act outside of its normal course when identifying this defect or issuing the help loan to Geraldine and Rana Walker. The amount is correct as reflected by the invoice and pre-agreed to by the property owners. Disputes about the accuracy of the initial notice of defect are not properly heard by this board and cannot properly be heard by any board in the city now that the work has been completed and the original condition of the defect no longer exists. Multiple defects on the same street do not negate any particular defect. And if the Walkers are correct about there being a private sewer system that's causing issues to their pipes, that dispute is properly heard by the court system and resolved between the Walkers and the owner of that private sewer. Therefore, the city asks the tax review board to uphold the loan in its full amount. Thank you.
Okay. I guess we're going to step back for a few minutes and have a conversation about how we move forward with this. So everybody just sit tight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have everybody. Yes, okay. Tax Review Board is back in session. Yes, Ms. Walker, I see you. Ms. Lachlan, I see you. Okay, so the board did have a chance to have a conversation, and it's our decision right now to take this matter under advisement. Ms. Walker, I know that you testified that you have sent many, many emails and documents and pictures and videos. We would like to have the opportunity to see those as well. Because you sent them to the water department or, wherever, we're not even sure wherever they went. So we'd really like the opportunity to review all of your information so that we're sure, that we have everything that we need to make the right decision. So Ms. Andre will give you her email, and then of course, Ms. Lachlan needs a copy as well. And we're gonna give you 10 days so you can get all of that together if you need to and send it to Ms. Andre, our executive director. Ms. Lachlan, and once you receive that, we're going to give you 10 days to review it and provide us with any response or any additional documentation that you have, and also to Ms. Walker. And then the board is going to take time, look through all of it, and hopefully be able to come to a decision at that time. And we're going to try to do a quick turnaround, which is why we're giving Ms. Walker 10 days and then Ms. Lachlan an additional 10 days. But that'll hopefully allow us within 30 days to actually review it all and inform you of a decision, okay?
I
So
appreciate
can I
it.
get concurrence from the board? We're moving this to under advisement.
John O'Connor, I concur.
Can we have Ms. Laughlin's email address?
Oh, yes, we'll provide it. Just give us a minute. Nancy?
Nancy Cameron, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Always, I concur. Oh, yes, we'll make sure you have all the correct email addresses before you leave. Ms. Andre will provide them to you. But you will get a letter. You'll also get a letter from the Tax Review Board within about 2 weeks, just informing you we've taken it under advisement for the purpose of having additional documents submitted and reviewed by us. And then when we do reach a decision, you'll be notified of the date and time when we'll provide that decision as well. And we will try to do it as quick turnaround as we can do.
I really appreciate it. I also just wanted to ask, with this decision-making process, are you also addressing the terracotta pipe issue?
That isn't something we can do.
No.
We can only review the reasonableness of the bill and the help loan. We're
Okay.
not the water department.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, Mr. Seegers or Mr. Parker, where does she go in order to report that kind of a problem and see that PWD can address it? What's the best avenue for that?
If she said, if there's another cave-in, then you can call 685-6300. That's our customer information. And then they will forward that to a customer field service inspector.
No, that cave-in has
It's-
already been rectified. I made sure I didn't let that linger. So the second cave-in has been addressed, but I need them to dig it up and fix the pipe. So I just want to know, who do I contact? Is it the same number?
Yes, it's the same number.
And and also your your district city council person may have a constituent service person who can assist you as well.
Thank you very much.
Getting that. All right, so we're gonna wait to hear from you with all of your information, and then Ms. Lachlan, and then we will call you back in, and you can, when we read the next hearing for us will be simply to announce our decision. You can come in person, you can come by Zoom.
Zoom.
Okay, yeah, you can Zoom or you can actually, or and we'll certainly, okay, so you can, yes. So you'll get all the information as to your options at that point in time for just hearing what our decision is, and hopefully we'll get to do that relatively quickly, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you very much. That
Thank you.
concludes the matter. Ms. Andre will be sure that you have all the email addresses that you need. There you go. So
Okay.
thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it. And I believe that you're welcome to go on your way.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good afternoon.
And actually, for the rest of the board, that does conclude our docket for today. So we are adjourned. We will see everyone next Tuesday because we do not have a session on Thursday. So thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank
good
you.
afternoon.
Have a good
Thank you.
afternoon.
Have a good
Bye now.
evening, everyone.
Enjoy
Thank you.
Skelly. Bye.
It's so much fun.